Hey Vault Dwellers, JV here, and today I'm so excited to share 76 things we want in Fallout 76. It's officially 76 days until Fallout 76 comes out, and I decided to do something special to celebrate. This is a community project that includes 76 ideas from my YouTube subscribers and Facebook followers, 76 things we want to see in the next Fallout game. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more Fallout 76 videos just like this. Follow my Facebook page for daily live streams and our non-stop Fallout 76 playthrough, which starts right when the beta drops in October. Starting off in no particular order, the great Malik wants a duel system. This system would allow two people to brawl or have a shootout without fully killing each other. No need to be a murderer if we both consent. I agree, I see no reason why we couldn't use the emote wheel or something like that, walking up to someone else, challenging them to a duel, and then duking it out, testing out your weapons and seeing who is better. SPACEBUMPKIN wants mini weather machines that you can build at your camp in the late game, so your camp and surrounding area always have the same scenery. This is a cool idea. I'm all for customization, and if you invest in the right resources, you should be able to do something like this. Ben wants even more of the local lore. West Virginia has a lot more monsters that could be incorporated. I want as much local lore as possible. I want to know about all the wacky, crazy things, and it sounds like Bethesda is dedicated to that, and they're certainly saving more than they've shared so far. We're going to have some surprises, so I expect this. Justin wants buildable robots to defend your base and possibly to assign to shops so other players can trade with you while you're out adventuring, and I think that's an excellent idea. It would be so cool to set up shop, put items in there up for sale, then players can just walk up and trade with you if you want to. You don't have to be there. Lewis wants a standard version of the Ranger Sequoia, the 50 BMG anti-material rifle, and the M1 Garand. These are awesome weapons. I would love to see these return in the game. We've seen these in like Obsidian's Fallout and whatever, but they should totally be in the game. They're awesome, and this is a live service game, so we should have as many options as possible. The Siege wants more pre-war information, such as holotapes and terminals. It's only been 25 years, so you'd think more information would exist than in previous games. I think he's right about that. It should be less damage, I think we can assume it's not in some games because it got damaged or someone took it already, so we should see a lot more of this around. It would make sense. Lorenzo G wants clans. He needs to show others who runs the wastelands. I agree 5,000%. So guilds, clans, factions, whatever you need to call them, we need something like this to form our own associations, our own groups, since we don't have human NPCs. Isaiah wants us to be able to find records in the wasteland and make our own radio stations so you can live DJ and even draw people to your settlement with your radio station. This is brilliant. It would be so cool to go over to the radio tab and just see someone's own radio station there, and boom, there are songs that they're playing in their own order. Or like he said, if you need to draw people to your settlement to trade, maybe you're being attacked, or maybe you want people to come and attack you, you could do it that way. I love it. Hyperbeats wants daily or weekly events that give you cap rewards or some of the cosmetics that you'd have to purchase with money. So we know that Bethesda has said you can earn the stuff that you can purchase for real money. That's already a thing, but I really like the events idea. I want events to keep me playing. I want that daily login incentive. Nati wants a hunting shotgun with a dynamic reload from New Vegas, and also the ability to do a shotgun build that actually works, and I totally understand that. It was a little bit tough in Fallout 4 with those mechanics. I think we really need as many builds as possible to be viable in this live service Fallout game. Ender Warlock wants the ability to create your own quests for other players, like clearing out Area A of ghouls for X amount of fusion cores. I think this is a really cool idea, and maybe you could invite people to come with you, or there would be other incentives for doing this. Elliot wants boss variety. He wants every boss to be different experience that isn't just shoot them until they die. I agree 100%. I think that just shooting for the head is a little lazy in terms of game design. We can do better than that. And so give us certain parts we need to shoot off, and especially for different kinds of enemies. E4 Enderman wants a place on the map where people can meet and be in a group or look for each other. So I think this should be like a hub, safe, passive zone. I think that's a great idea. We should totally have at least one of those in the game. Lee wants pet companions like dog meat because he thinks that sometimes when you work with real players, it's missing something in a survival game. He also wants to be able to build a house and live with his friends and pets. So I think pets would be a great addition. I just worry about the balancing issue with that. If you don't have a pet, are you screwed in combat? PvP kind of changes things. BOOBIE76 wants customization on clothes, armor, and guns, balanced weapon and armor, and he doesn't want to have to wear power armor to survive. I agree 5,000%. I think that that will cause kind of an imbalance, and it'll make people want to walk around in power armor if power armor is as powerful as it is in Fallout 4. So I hope there is some kind of balancing there. CADENTBOSS wants good post-launch content to keep us playing for years, big DLC maps, big quests, guns, apparel, events, etc. Yes, we know that Bethesda knows that this game lives and dies by its ability to push out new content and keep it a genuine live service instead of something like Destiny, which, you know, puts major updates 3 months apart. We can't have that for Fallout 76. We need stuff in between. YOKING wants a system that doesn't make people who play solo feel left out of rewards, since we do have perk cards that increase group rewards, and I agree with that. It seems like there is a heavy emphasis on rewarding you for playing with others way more than rewarding you for playing alone. We have Lone Wanderer, but there honestly needs to be more, and I hope that they give us that. EYOBOYEE Gaming wants location-specific gear. Seeing the same things over and over makes the game dull. He wants people to wonder how he got what he has. Again, awesome idea. I think it would be cool to go to a specific mountain and kill a specific, you know, legendary super mutant and get a specific weapon, and then you come up to somebody and they're like, oh, how'd you get that? And then you tell them. I think that fosters really good interaction between players. Rotten Apple wants aliens back in the Fallout universe. Maybe instead of an alien gun, a new weapon or a perk card revolving around aliens. This would be really cool, kind of small little interaction, or maybe we can find alien weapons somewhere in the world. I'm so down for that. Jeff wants an SOS system to call for help from anyone nearby to help defend, destroy, attack, or anything that you need. Again, I think this is awesome. It could kind of be like the radio idea that we already talked about. You can tune into it on your Pip-Boy, you can see someone's calling for help, and you can go over there and help them or attack them. Andrew wants truly unique looking uniques, not just a standard weapon with a special effect. It should reflect how unique the weapon is. Agree 5,000% on this. Something like Destiny, which has very cool weapon effects. No matter how you feel about Destiny, they do a great job with that. So give us uniques that really feel special. Heavy Thunder wants special public and server events that happen and bring all or most players on the map to the same location for a big boss battle or something like in Destiny or Grand Theft Auto. Yes, 5,000%. I'm going to keep saying that because you guys have amazing ideas. This would be awesome. The giant Scorch Beast appears and everyone kind of gravitates towards the area. Maybe there's a, if you're in the area and you helped with it, kind of like a public event in Destiny, then you get some of the rewards for that. You get some caps, whatever it may be for participating. Great idea. Lance wants animal taming, fishing, cooking, mining, weapon and armor crafting specialties. And I think the core idea of what Lance wants is more specialization in what we're already doing. So I can decide I want to be a leather specialized armor crafter, or, you know, fishing would be awesome. That's not something we don't have. Animal taming, that's kind of like Animal Friend, but make it more specialized, and I totally agree. SKYLER wants exotic power armor parts like a Deathclaw skull shoulder pad and custom faction logos and paint jobs. Yes, 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 all of this. I really want the custom logos for factions if that actually happens. But yeah, I would love some more, interesting, unique power armor. JJ wants players that aren't toxic and players that can do roleplay and not just think of 76 as a shooter. Goodness, I hope so. I know a lot of people are worried about this. They think that Fallout 76 is going to turn into a battle royale game or just an all-out shootout where everyone shoots on sight. Certainly hope that's not the case, and I hope that Bethesda is in a position and they want to adjust things accordingly to help make sure that doesn't happen. Malachi King wants animal companions and a special collar you can put on animals to make them your followers. So it's kind of like Animal Friend, but it makes a little more sense. You're not just like taming an animal, you're putting a collar on them. I think these are both really good ideas. Love to see them. Nate wants to mutate into a super mutant or a ghoul. How cool would that be if you suddenly mutated and gained a bunch of strength as a super mutant and lost a bunch of intelligence? Or as a ghoul, I suppose you lose endurance or something? I don't know what the advantage of being a ghoul would be, but these are really cool ideas, and it'd be awesome to run into another player that is suddenly a ghoul or a super mutant. Dr. Zero wants to be able to make a radio so you can send message to others and advertise, like, hey, do you need any medical supplies? And come on down, come to my vendors and buy them. awesome idea. I think that'd be really good for people who want to role play as traders, which Bethesda have said, yeah, we want you to be able to do that. KORNSIRKEL wants 50 players in one session, so trading and questing together is viable. And I kind of see where he's coming from here. I think Bethesda is going more of the route of they want it to feel like a nuclear apocalypse, so there's not a bunch of people jumping around and kind of causing chaos everywhere, but I'd love for an option, right? It's about player choice. That's what they're preaching, and I think it would be nice to have options and go into a more highly populated server if you want to. AZURA wants extremely varying playstyles and gun customization, equal in power but very different to play. I always want there to be as much variety as possible. I don't want things to bring us closer to the middle in terms of the spectrum of possibilities. I want things to spread us out, but I agree that things should be equal in power. There shouldn't be one thing that really works. I don't want an Overseer's Guardian type of meta in Fallout 76's online game. Space Toast wants large-scale battles, for example, 4v4 on squad, to be a nice change from all your battles being one-on-one. So he's kind of assuming that most of your interactions will be one-on-one. We don't know how servers work. We don't know if you queue into a game that you're going to be solo, but you're with a bunch of 4-player squads or anything like that. But I agree, I want to see some big battles go on. Hugo wants to design decals that you can put on weapons, power armor, and signs in your camp. Yes, this is kind of like the faction kind of logo idea that other people have been mentioning, but this is specific to you. It doesn't have to be to your faction. It can be particular for you and your character. So definitely on board for this. Eliab wants advanced faction interfaces allowing for diplomacy through different leadership. So if I understand this correctly, he wants kind of a tiered system within these factions. He wants like an overseer or like a chief at the very top, like a Brotherhood of Steel military hierarchy. I think that would be so cool. Holy wants to craft different types of ammo, standard, hollow point, armor piercing, incendiary, and etc., and also a real need for ammo. So first off, yes, I would love different ammo types. I think that'd be fantastic. It would really add a lot to the game. And in terms of a real need for ammo, I agree. I don't know if they're going to go that route, because when we hear softcore survival, I don't think they want to punish us. You know, they don't want it to be punishing. They just want stuff for us to keep track of. And so maybe, we'll see. Stony wants to build robots and then make them compete and start Robot Fight Club. I don't think I need to say anything more on this one. Robot Fight Club. Razor, Roger, and Gizmo would like a lot of the Creation Club items to be in the game already. Backpacks, Pip-Boy, and power armor colors, things like that. Totally get where you're coming from. You're thinking this is content that was kind of extra in the past, so why not just have it in there from the start? I don't know if they're going to go that direction. I don't know if that makes sense for them and their business model, so we'll have to see. Joe76 wants to know, are missions going to come from NPC non-humans? What happens if a real person tries to conflict with that? And what if people are building settlements on the terminals you're supposed to read? These are really good points. I think that Bethesda has kind of addressed the last one there. What if someone is building in the area where you need to go for your quest, or you can't do the quest and you want to avoid people? That's something that Bethesda has thought of. They are avoiding building. You can't build in certain quest-specific locations. But this is going to be an interesting conflict, you know? Are other people going to mess with our main quest line? We'll have to see. Jub wants a system that asks you what kind of playstyle you want to play, like PvP, role-playing, and building, and matches you with people of similar interests. This almost reminds me of Overwatch. When you queue in that game, now there's a way in competitive mode to say, I'm going to fill this role, or this role. That's an interesting mechanic, an interesting idea. We know that Bethesda has said there's no server choosing or anything like that, so I don't know if this is something we'll see, but cool idea. Leonardo wants divisions to affect the course of the game. None of the saving settlements missions that don't affect your course of play in any way. Totally agree. And I think Bethesda has been hinting at this. They've been saying, like, you have choice in this game like you've never had before. And so I hope they genuinely mean it through the main quest line. Father Elijah wants bomb collars. He wants to enslave anyone who tries to mess with them so we can turn around and sell those people to other players. I think everyone needs to watch out for Father Elijah, no matter what platform you're on. But this does remind me of Paradise Falls in Fallout 3, a big slaver community. I'm sure that's where Father Elijah got that idea. Jake wants a faction hub like he thought Nuka World was going to be, where all the factions are and they can trade and have faction merchants. And I think that's a great idea. I think there should be, like I said before, a sanctuary, a safe zone where you can't shoot each other, but one specifically for factions, because you could recruit there, you could do all kinds of fun stuff. Fatty Fireball wants cross-platform. Even though PC players will most likely be way better than console players, he just wants cross-platform. And yeah, man, I mean, Sony sucks. Todd Howard said it best. I mean, he really went after him. It seems like Xbox and, you know, Microsoft and Nintendo are on board. It's just Sony that is being annoying right now. So they need to get on board. GIBBY wants a very robust crafting system with upgrades needing materials from harder and harder mobs. And so what I think he means is he wants a progression. You know, he wants a progression within these systems. For example, if I want to get the, you know, best upgrade for metal armor, then I have to go and kill a Scorch Beast and get whatever glands to apply, you know, that best upgrade to that armor. And I think this is a great idea. It's going to keep us grinding. It's going to keep us kind of looking for something more to do in this online game. Sleepy Cerberus wants more ARs and World War II weapons, would love to have the service rifle or assault carbine in Fallout 76. I agree completely, and he also pointed out in his longer message that he saw the Browning 50 cal and the MG 42, and so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to see more of those types of weapons. And yeah, I just want more variety, and I think, you know, World War II era weapons would be perfect. Will wants Destiny type raids with your squad on mega bosses for high caps, preferably something high risk, high reward. Yes, yes, yes. I want to be able to engage in an activity that is specifically for high level players only. We know we have nuke launching and missile silos, but I have a feeling it's going to get old, and hopefully Bethesda realizes that and releases some more high level content down the line. Himmel wants the ability to visually modify your armor and make them as gnarly as possible. He wants to add horns or skulls or stuff like that. I want to look like the most badass raider out there if I want to play as a raider. So yes, completely. I would love to see this. Brian wants the ability to reset our special points if we get too deep into the game before figuring out how we want to play. I think this is super important. We can already perk swap cards, you know, with that whole system, but what about our special points? I'm not sure if that's been confirmed yet, and I really need that because, yeah, I don't want to invest a ton of points in a category without knowing later down the line these perks, you know, this certain set of perk cards are going to be available. Because there are a finite number of special points, but there are unlimited perk cards, so I think that's important. A bottom text wants customizable player animations, different walk cycles, idle animations, and gun holding. This would be really cool to kind of assign an attitude to your player and see, you know, what the difference is. GTA Online already has that, and I don't see why we couldn't see that in this game too. Beast Boy wants a main antagonist. He doesn't want to only fight insignificant ghouls, super mutants, and more. Yes, I hope we have a main antagonist. Since we don't have human NPCs, then it kind of makes you wonder. We don't know anything about the story so far. We know it's the Overseer's mission and we're carrying out as a member of Vault 76 along with everyone else, but that's about it. So I do hope we have, you know, someone to fight against. Justin wants changing seasons so the time in game corresponds to the weather we experience. This would be really cool if it was set to West Virginia. Obviously, it wouldn't be weather everyone experiences because we're all over the world, right? But if it was set to West Virginia's season, since it's an online game, in the fall when this game comes out, we'll see, you know, the autumn leaves and all that stuff, and then it rolls around to late December, January. We start to see snow. That would be so cool. Trusky wants random events that take place on the map, like an urban legend appears and everyone is tasked with exterminating it together to get loot. He wants to see 30+ people working together to kill the Mothman or a Scorch Beast. That would be so cool. These like global events, kind of like what we talked about before, like a public event in Destiny. Everyone gravitates towards one spot on the map to work together to complete a task. Supreme wants better customization for gear, like a custom bandana or custom clothing, and items like backpacks that show off some of your gear on it that adds advantages and disadvantages. Yes, a backpack #1 would be awesome, but we have this custom emblem idea that I think would be really cool. I think Supreme means like piece by piece customization, so maybe we could see something like that. Gibby wants to be able to group up with large amounts of players to create his own town, an actual town with trade routes and a formal government and everything, not just a camp that you can pack up at any time. This would be really cool. I really hope we have formal systems to establish stuff like Gibby mentioned here, similar to what we had in the Vault Tech, you know, DLC for Fallout 4, where you can set up a terminal, you can pre-select these conditions and people have to follow them. That would be really cool, but the problem is we can't make things permanent. It's an online game. When you log out, your stuff disappears. So this would have to be something that you can pick up and move. Maddox wants syringer rifles that deal more damage, have better scopes, and can shoot stim packs so I can heal my team. This would be awesome. We've already seen a few perks that, you know, if you take a health item, it'll affect people in your team. If you're rolling with a team, that's cool, but I would love to see a more direct interaction thing like a syringer rifle where you can shoot people that are in your squad and it does heal them. Jonathan wants encrypted communication between party members via the Pip-Boy. The higher your intelligence, the harder it is for different parties to decode it, as well as the higher your intelligence, the easier it is for you to decode others. This is an interesting system, although I think it's just easily bypassed by talking in a party on PS4, Xbox One, or, you know, a different kind of chat on PC. But I think something like this would be cool if you're trying to recruit other people. Maybe to your faction, you leave something and they kind of have to pick up the pieces, the clues, decrypt it, and then they can figure out what you're trying to communicate. Fallout fan wants symbols for reputation for certain players, such as raiders would be skulls shown on the map. This is a really cool idea. You can kind of mark yourself. Although I could see Bethesda not wanting to do this because they want each interaction to be like, I don't know what's going on. Is this person going to be evil or are they going to be friendly? They want that suspense. But at the same time, it'd be cool if you could just outright choose like, hey, look, I'm going to attack you if you see me. Steven wants epic battles that challenge even an OP character, like the Mechanist, the Battle for the Castle, or any of the faction takedowns in Fallout 4. Yes, Steven, I think we really do need challenging kind of PvE interactions like that, just outside of, you know, fighting each other. I want some mega boss. I want some very, you know, insurmountable challenge that I can take on with my friends. Andrew wants a community message board like something in The Witcher 3 where we can post contracts. This is an awesome idea. I would love to see this. It's kind of similar to the idea we had earlier about, you know, kill super mutants for fusion cores. You can create your own quest. It's kind of like that. You can contract people to do certain things, then maybe you split it, or maybe they join your group and they get a cut of it, something like that. Robert wants some other type of transportation besides walking or fast travel. I totally get where Robert is coming from, but I kind of side with Bethesda on their line of thinking for this. I think Fallout is very much about the experience of wandering around, finding something, going and checking it out. If you're in a vehicle, you are speeding past everything. You're not going to want to stop and check things out. Maybe you are, but it kind of muddies that experience. So I don't think we're going to see it. I think they've already said we won't be able to drive vehicles in this game. Colton wants loads of unique weapon variants, not just a handful or DLC content. You have the 10mm and the pipe pistol, but he wants to have fun with weapons he earns and crafts with friends. Yes, I just think there needs to be more variety. It's kind of what we've already covered. There needs to be lots of legendary modifiers, and I think that Bethesda has hinted at the fact that there will be way more in this game. Drew wants legendary blueprints for weapons. That would be badass. Drew, I completely agree. That would be really badass, and I think it would kind of give us something to shoot for. Instead of we're doing and completing an activity, we just get the legendary. We get a blueprint. We can take that back, see what we need, go to our camp, see what resources we have, what we don't have, and then go and hunt the rest down. Joseph wants to have haunted locations. He wants to be able to find historic notes about those places. Bethesda's really good at that, and so far we know they're leaning on a lot of the folklore of West Virginia, so I think we can expect just that. Justin wants skills like in Fallout 3 and New Vegas because it'd make creating a unique character easier and more fun. Justin, I agree with you. There are some perks we've seen, like a hacker perk, for example, that increases a hacking skill by +1. But beyond that, we haven't seen anything about traditional skills as we understood them before Fallout 4. If I had to guess, they're probably going to lean towards Fallout 4 in terms of how that stuff works, but we'll see. Christopher wants cross-platform. He and his brother are huge Fallout fans, but he plans to play on Xbox One and his brother's on PS4. Yes, as we've mentioned before, cross-platform would be great. It'd be great for this industry. It'd be great for this game. We know the majority of players will be on PS4, so it'd be nice to link everyone together. Martin wants card sets or builds. It would be used to have one build for solo and one for friends, one for sneaking, one for open outdoor areas. Martin, I like the way you're thinking, and I think this would actually be better than what Bethesda has said they're considering or what they want to do. In the QuakeCon panel, if you pay attention, Gary asked Todd, like, are we going to have card decks or is this going to be just a card swapping thing? And they kind of want people to just swap a few cards in and out. But I kind of want to go all out and like preset a deck. So I hope they work on that in the future. Christopher wants to be able to start or be part of a faction, whether it's an established faction from previous lore or a faction that can be written in as local. I think Christopher obviously brings up a point we've talked about before, but the local faction thing I didn't even think about. Like a local West Virginia faction that is only in that area would be a really cool kind of thing to establish and then see it grow and flourish over the life cycle of the game. That would be very awesome. Whistle King wants a GTA 5-like experience with constant expansions of the universe, maybe a real-world time lapse, and the growing or demise of communities with audio drops of remnant groups. Very cool idea. I think it's so important to see a progression of this game. We need to see it evolve. We need to see it change unlike any other game. GTA 5 does a good job, but it could change more, and Fallout is a perfect opportunity for that. Tyler wants very specific characters. One is a master crafter, while another one is run and gun, and then would the crafter be able to charge the other for running up materials and creating something? I think Bethesda is planning for this. They want people to say, look, I'm a trader, and so I'm going to go around, I'm going to set up shop, maybe I'll walk around. I don't know if we're going to have like Brahmin or like security or something like that. But yeah, I want to be a trader. I want to be a crafter. I want to be something like this. So I sure hope that we get that. Jennifer wants all items containing rads or dealing rad damage to actually affect your rads. It's not like your backpack would eliminate all radiation without being lined with lead. And this is like an extra step of survival. And I think that's a good idea, although I'm not sure it really fits Bethesda's plan for softcore survival. They don't want things to really punish us, just something we kind of have to keep track of. So maybe. Shadow Panther wants more melee weapons like katanas and other swords. I think we do need a larger variety of melee weapons. There's some fun Fallout specific ones like Super Sledge and Shish Kebab, but give us more. Charlie wants snow. He wants deadly blizzards. He wants to have to hunker down in a log cabin listening out for Wendigo screeches. Yes, this sounds like an awesome, kind of experience. That would be so cool to have to worry about something kind of like a rad storm, but it's more weather related. We know there's going to be dynamic weather, so I hope they deliver on that. Gareth wants vertibirds with a fuel limit. Players can make biofuel by farming and processing corn. This would be more immersive than fast travel, and then you could have someone on a Gatling gun while you pilot. Awesome idea. I don't know if it would fit in this kind of game, because if you have someone in a vertibird with a Gatling gun, they're just gonna tear up everyone, and maybe that's a cool mechanic or interaction, but I would think that would be something that would need to be rare in order for it to work. Gage wants the ability to ally with nearby settlements and trade with them for caps, resources, etc. This would mark allies as friendly and would warn you of their presence so you don't accidentally shoot them if you don't mean to. So it's kind of like adding a flag that says, look, we are allies, we are not going to shoot each other because we understand that we are friendly. And again, I think this is kind of like the formal government system. I want some stuff like this in place so we can set these parameters and really roleplay. Hunter wants a cannibal perk card that would turn you into a Wendigo if you got the right mutation. This is interesting. This is very specific. It says if you get this, then you turn into this. It's like a modifier. And this is an interesting idea. I think it'd be really cool to play around with fun, very specific perk cards like that. Video Nezo wants mining and natural resources farming for your settlements, being able to cut down trees for wood, place mining contraptions for deposits, so on and so forth. I would love a more immersive, interactive way to collect resources. I totally agree with this. I don't want to just loot them. I want to be able to collect them realistically. And finally, last but not least, number 76, Marcus would like to see a variety of gadgets that you could use. Grappling hooks, EMPs, portable shield covers, handheld teleport devices, and player launches. Some of this stuff would be insane. It wouldn't work, but some of it is really cool. I'd like to see some more Fallout related gadgets that you could craft. All right, guys, that is it. That was 76 things that you, the Fallout community, want to see in Fallout 76. This was a fun little community project, and I'm excited and glad that I decided to do it. So if you guys want to share this and try and make sure Bethesda sees this, some of these ideas are wacky and fun, but some of them are very realistic, and I feel like could happen and would really fit with the game. So make sure you share this if you enjoyed this video. In the comment section below, tell me what your favorite idea from this video is. What idea made you think, wow, I really want that, I really could see that in Fallout 76? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe for more Fallout 76 content, like my last video where we discuss crafting in the game. Follow my Facebook page for daily live streams and our non-stop Fallout 76 playthrough, which starts right when the beta drops in October. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.